Hello curl friends, welcome to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Jody and it's great to have you join me today. Today we are doing a Hubby Chooses video, and I have to say we are in for a treat because I'm really not sure how this is going to turn out. I'm really kind of nervous about it. The lineup that we have is, shall we say, very questionable. If you're unfamiliar with these videos, what I do is I have my husband choose 3 products. Well, sometimes I have him choose 3 products, sometimes I have him choose 2 products, more so in the summertime. But right now I'm having him choose 3 products from 3 different categories. So I have like my creams and leave-ins in one category, I have mousse and foam in another category, and then I have gels and custards in another. So that is the categories he chooses from. I'm going to show you clips of him picking those products out at this point, and then we'll begin styling. Okay, we're going to start out with the leave-in and cream section. Which styler should I use? Okay, and now for the gel, which gel do you want to pick? And then for the final mousse or foam styler, which one should I use? All right, and then for this combination, we have the Curl Mix Wash and Go Moisturizer. It says it has a light hold, a step 3 process. And then we have the Uncle Funky's Daughter Curly Magic Curl Stimulator. Then we follow up with the Curls Sea Moss Collection, the Nourish and Shine Sea Moss Foam. All right, so if you're familiar with these products at all, this is a very moisturizing lineup, what I'm afraid is going to be a heavy lineup. But I am thankful that he chose this during the colder months, so hopefully it will go over better on my hair. But I'm going to be very careful in how much product I'm going in with. The first one we are going in with is the Step 3, the moisturizer of the Curl Mix brand. And so let's just go in with a very small amount. Now I used this last year. I don't know that I've used it since then. Here's what I have, just like a pea-sized amount, if even, I guess it's a pea-sized amount. But I don't think I've used this since last year. I've used the gel a little bit more and the mousse a little bit more. Ouch. Found a little tangle there. Okay, that surprised me. And when I went in with all those products, or I think I went in with, for my video, my original Curl Mix video, I think, it's been a while now, I think I went in with the moisturizer and the gel, and I had fantastic results. Like, it looked good, but it did also feel a little bit like extra moisture, a little bit more than what I typically need. And then I also think I showed some pictures of me using just the foam. So I don't, like I said, I don't fully remember. It's been a while. Of the 3 stylers for Curl Mix though, my favorite is the foam. And like I said, I haven't played around with this one. I haven't paired it with anything else, so I'm really not sure. I always thought most of the moisture was coming from this one. Did I think that? I should have really rewatched my videos. That's embarrassing. I don't know, but I do know the gel is, like I said, very moisturizing. It's more of like a cream gel in my opinion. So let me just brush this product through. To be truthfully honest, at this point, I don't really feel like there's anything in my hair, but that's okay because we have a lot of room for the extra moisture that's coming in these other products here. I'm trying to decide, I'm trying to decide if I want to brush in my next product, this custard, this Curly Magic from Uncle Funky's Daughter. I don't think I've done this brushing it through, but it could be one that if I go very light-handed, that could work. But the last product I'm not too sure about either because it's been forever since I've used that one. I think I'm going to go ahead and brush this in. Okay, so I didn't even use a full pump on my hands. We're just going to see how this feels. This emulsifies really well. There is quite a bit of that little slime-like action there. I don't know if that grosses anybody else out, but it doesn't look too appealing. But it does offer good slip. And also, like I said, this is a very moisturizing product. I prefer to use this as a single styler in the winter time, to be truthfully honest. So, like I said, I don't really feel like I even need to add anything to this Curly Magic, but here we are putting 3 products together. But right now, this feels okay. It doesn't feel like I have a lot on my hair. And honestly, that's what I'm shooting for at this time. So once again, I'm going to just distribute that with this brush, and then I am going to brush style my hair. We'll see what kind of curl clumps we're getting with this combination so far. I may feel, if I feel like things aren't really like holding up to how I want, I may go in with just a tiny bit more of that gel and just scrunch it in afterwards, like I normally would a gel after I brush style. But we'll see. Like, I want to see how my curls are looking. You know what, looking at my hair now as I've brushed that through, I can see how it's clumping things already, so I think I should have enough. Let's section this off, or let me section this off, and then we'll begin brush styling. All right, so I've already gone through and brushed out the back section, which I usually do off camera because you and I both can't see it very well. And now we are getting ready to do one of the sides here, and there's definitely good clumping going on there. I can see some hold already forming in that. Once again, it has been a while since I've used the Uncle Funky's. I think I used it some like the previous winter, in either like the end of 2024 or beginning of 2025, but really that's been like nearly a whole year ago. So, or at the time that you're seeing it, it's certainly been over a year. Let me get a chance to scrunch this together then after I'm done brush styling this section, and we will just see how that is clumping, like as far as like, is the curl looking like it's gained some spring back to it or not. Once again, always the best way for me to tell how my hair is going to turn out is after it's already done, you know, styled and dried and everything like that. Sometimes wet curls for my type of hair, my finer hair, can be very deceiving while they're wet. So I'm just gonna, sometimes you might see me do this. I just kind of run my hands through it, lightly rake it through. That's me just trying to break up any larger curl clumps. So if you ever wonder what I'm doing, well, now you know. All right. So far it looks like it has good lift to it, actually. Like, it doesn't look like it wants to lay down flat and heavy. So that's promising. I'm going to do the other side and the top of my hair. I'll come back and we'll discuss things right before I get ready to apply the second product. All right, I have all of that brushed through. Now I'm just doing the final scrunch of, well, once I've done brushing things through, I always like to go around and scrunch everything, flip it from side to side a little bit. I have been keeping my hair very wet because that's another thing with these moisturizing products. It's better for me to keep things a little bit more on the extra wet side so that my products don't become too concentrated. Even though that may lessen the hold that they have, I just feel like this is a safer option for me to do. I don't want to come out with gunky, producty feeling hair. Now I'm going to go in with the last product, the Curls Nourish and Shine Sea Moss Foam. And I have not touched this product since I did that initial review. And you know what? I don't even think I did use this. I know I have used this because the product is down to here. And I know I can remember using it, but I don't remember what my results were like. I think for the video though, I had actually done a review on the gel because the gel said to use it as a single styler, like it didn't want you pairing it with anything else. I think I probably could get away with pairing it with something else, but it worked okay as a single styler. But I know I tried this out around that same time, just I don't think I did it for the video. Anyways, all that to say, I don't remember what this gave me, but I do know another curls mousse that I have, or foam I should say, the Curls Blueberry Bliss one, is very moisturizing. And I have a feeling this one was kind of along the same lines, maybe a little less sticky, a little less producty feeling. That's what I'm hoping and praying for. But it's a surprise to me because, like I said, I can't remember. All right, I like to flip upside down for applying these type of products. And I'm just going to put, we're gonna see how 3 pumps gives me. It doesn't look like much, but this is a very serum-y like consistency, and that's what I kind of thought it might be like. Look how it builds up on my hands though, you guys. It almost looks like a cream as it's building up on my hands, because I did not remember that. I think what I'm going to have to do, maybe, or what I'm going to choose to do, let me split my hair here first and get a little of that in these intersections here. I'm going to put a little bit of water on my hands. That's what I was starting to say. I never finished my thought on. I want to get a little water on my hands just to try to work that product in a little bit better. And I feel like 3 pumps is like the just right amount. Okay, my camera got really overly bright there when I had flipped over. I don't know what that was all about. I can feel this mousse in my hair, but so far I'm hoping and praying it doesn't feel like too much. I don't think it does, but you never know, like I said, till it's dry. All right, now I'm gonna let this wet plop sit on for about 10-15 minutes. I'll come back with my hair fully diffused and styled, and we can see what these results are looking like. Cross your fingers. All right, curl friends, I am here with my hair fully diffused, and let's take a look at what this hair is looking like. I have to say, it's looking better than I thought, but there are some other notes that I do want to talk about. So we'll just get over like the looking at the curls type stuff or business, and then let me show you the back, and then we'll get into more of the details. All right, let's start out with the positives. I have some decent definition throughout my hair. It doesn't feel producty. I'm happy about that. It does have a decent amount of volume, which I was kind of surprised by because, like I said, these products seem to be rather moisturizing, and I was afraid it was going to be too heavy for my hair. If my hair is too moisturized, being that it's fine, it will oftentimes be very weighed down. So it is not producty and it's not weighed down. However, I don't think the camera is going to pick all of this up, but I have a lot of extra frizz that I don't normally have. My hair is super soft. There is basically almost no hold. So I don't see this lasting very long. And part of that's my problem because I went in with such light product, especially on my holding product, my main holding styler, which was the Curly Magic. And I just didn't, like I said, I was afraid of it being over moisturized. I was afraid of it feeling product. I just didn't want to go in with too much product, and you know, that's my fault. So I probably could have stood to go in with a little bit more of that. Either way though, that product doesn't offer me a ton of hold. But now let me just actually get into these individual stylers, and I'm also going to show you what I'm going to do to remedy or help make the style last a little bit longer. But like I said though, let's dive into these individual products and then we'll wrap things up. So for the Curl Mix moisturizer, by the way, at the time I'm filming this, I don't know if Curl Mix made it through like their business plan of trying to get like 20,000 orders, I think it was. I don't know if they made it. They were close at one point when she was posting the last video, like the day before. I think they needed 1,000 or so. I don't know what the results of that were. If you guys know, actually I may even know by the time that this video comes out. But I hope they made it. You know, I'm wishing them well in their business and everything like that. But as for this product, I still need to play around with this more. I need to pair it with more things. I think like the best way for me to learn more about this product is to pair it with gels that I really love. So I'm thinking like, I need to pair this with the Dippity Doo gel. And what's another one that I should do? I should pair it with some more moisturizing ones, with some more drying ones. So maybe like the AG Liquid Effects. And those are the two that are coming to mind right now off the top of my head that I feel like would be the best for me to get an idea of what that moisturizer does for me, to see, you know, if it's something I really like as a primer or a base coat for me, or if it's something that's just I have to be very careful with how I use. But overall, like every time I have used it, I haven't gotten bad results. So I guess that says something for it, you know. Moving on to the next product, the Curly Magic. This is one that I've already said before that I prefer to use this as a single styler in the winter time, fall and winter time, anytime there's drier months. So the fact that I paired this up with 2 other stylers, you know, I was really pushing the limits, I feel like, for this one, but it did okay. It doesn't offer much hold. If you pair it by itself, if it's just by itself, it can offer a little bit more hold. But if it's mixed with all these and the fact of how much water I had in my hair, which was also going to dilute the effectiveness of these products for the hold. So altogether, I did not get much hold. I will say though, you know, talking about all this and not having much hold, there was no cast when I diffused my hair, which isn't surprising, but my hair did take a longer time to dry. So that also leads me to believe that these were definitely moisturizing products. Like I said, that's a custard. It tends to be more moisturizing. I think the first time I used that Curly Magic, I had used it in the summertime and my curls were definitely like pulled down, way down. I think that's when I chose to review it. My bad. I didn't know how it was going to react with my hair in the summertime, but that, like I said, that's just a product I prefer to use in the colder months. The last product is the Curls Sea Moss collection, their mousse or their foam. And this is a true foam-like consistency in my opinion. This isn't bad. This isn't like the Curls, the Blueberry Bliss one, which that one, I say it's, I harp on that one a lot. When I talk about a mousse that I don't like, I refer to that one a lot. But in reality, I do use it a decent amount. I mix it in and I can make it work. But this one, what I'm trying to say is different from that. It's not, it doesn't give me that producty feeling. Now, once again, I do go in lightweight with it, but I went in with more than I would go in with the Curls Blueberry Bliss one. And my hair feels definitely lighter than it would had I had used the Curls Blueberry Bliss. So while I still don't have like a ton of opinions on this, I don't think this one offers a ton of hold on itself, on its own. I think it more so focuses on the volume aspect. But still, I don't think I could use this as a one and done styler. I don't think it would give me anything that's going to last very well. And so let me show you, speaking of lasting very well, let me show you what I'm going to do to try to help my curls last a little bit longer. First, I'm going to take my rings off because I hate applying oil with rings on. I'm going to go in with the Verb Ghost Oil, and I'm just going to put one pump on my hands. I probably won't even need all of that. Just going to smooth it all over, flipping from side to side. You can even flip upside down. You guys, I'm flipped upside down and I'm scrunching this oil in, and I can still feel some wet spots in this. Oh my goodness, or not wet, but slightly damp. And I'm like, I dried this extra amounts of time. So this is like, my hair is just not drying with these products. And I thought it was with the last shot that I went in with, but apparently it's not. I've got a product to fix that though. The next product I'm going in with is my good old trusty Tresemme hairspray. I use the Extra Hold, the level 4 hairspray. I'm going to do this off camera just so that I'm not going to get like hairspray on my lens or on this couch or anything. So I'll be right back to show you what the results look like. All right, so I am back with my hair fully hairsprayed. I do it flipped upside down. I do it right side up, but from side to side, and just kind of flipping my part as I go. And this is going to, that hairspray has denatured alcohol in it. So it's just going to suck up that moisture, that extra moisture that I don't need, that's just lingering around, that won't diffuse out of my hair. And it's going to help with it, like I said. So this is what the hair is looking like. It's probably not going to look a whole lot different on camera, but I can just feel the structure also that that hairspray gives me, and it's just going to help this last longer. Look at this pretty little curl here. She deserves a little spotlight attention. Okay, it looks wonky on camera, but right up top here, it's curling really pretty like. So, I don't know. Like I said, it doesn't look as good on camera. But anyways, it doesn't tame a ton of the frizz, maybe lays a little bit of it down. If I look at my parts, if I flip them from side to side, maybe the oil and the hairspray tamed a little bit of that down, but it's just going to keep it from expanding more. And that's what I'm looking for. So is that a solution for everybody? Certainly not. I'd say fine hair curlies probably can't get away with oil or serum as easily as I can. Yes, I do have fine hair, but it's not as fine. And lower density hair people definitely will struggle with that as well. Fine, low density hair, probably avoid serums and oils if you can. And those with very damaged hair, very dry and porous hair, hairspray may, especially denatured alcohol hairspray, may just exaggerate that, may make it worse for you. So you might want to avoid that as well. But if you are fine hair and your hair isn't overly damaged and you just want a little grit, a little texture, a little volume to your hair and hold, that hairspray is going to help. So I guess that's pretty much a wrap on this Hubby Chooses. Let me know what you think of it, how it turned out, the products that he chose. Like I said before, he randomly chooses. Sometimes it's kind of based on the color of like the container and everything like that, but he really doesn't know what he's doing. And oftentimes I do get pretty good results. And if not, I can always modify it like I did for this one. But let me know what you think of this in the comments down below. And until I see you again in the next video, have a great day. Bye.